Welcome back. In the previous video, we discovered how to get the border of objects, and we're applying this to our scene using our post-process material. But now we'd like to show the scene color information in addition to the border. We can do that by going into our post-process highlight material and using a scene texture node to get the scene color. So right-click and type scene texture. And to get our scene color for a post-process material, we have to set our scene texture ID to post-process input 0. Now this multiply node is the result of all of our previous calculations, and this is simply a border value. Let's give this a comment, and we'll say 1 equals border of meshes. And I really don't like how it doesn't show you the whole comment until I scale it out. So 1 is border of meshes, 0 is everything else. Now we're going to show the scene color and the border by using a lerp node. Right click and type LERP or lerp. Lerp is short for linear interpolate, and here we see our lerp node. Now lerp takes a value and a B value and an alpha. Drag this up here, and the result of our multiply here, we're going to drag that into alpha. Now lerp is going to take two values, A and B, and it'll spit out some mixture of A and B, depending on the value of alpha. Now if the alpha value is 0, then lerp will return A, with no B mixed in. Now if alpha is 1, then lerp will return B, with no A mixed in. If alpha was, say, 0.5, then we get a mixture of half A and half B. Now, we're going to take our scene texture node, and we're going to take the color and use a mask, so use component mask, and we're going to mask it to the RG and B values. This way we can plug this in to our lerp node as A. So this is giving us our scene color information. Now we're plugging this result of our multiply into alpha, which is 1 for the border of meshes and 0 for everything else. So for a pixel that's not the border, we're passing in 0, which means lerp will return A, which is just the regular scene color information. But for pixels on the border, we're going to get B. So what do we want for B? Well, we can simply hold the 3 key and click to make a color and plug this in for B. And we can double click this and select a color from our color picker. So select a color and make sure to drag the value up on the value ribbon and click OK. And now let's take the result of this lerp and plug it into emissive color. And what we should see as a result is our color for the border and the regular scene color for everything else. Go ahead and click Apply. Now back here in the viewport, take a look. We can see the border on our weapon, and everywhere else we just see the scene color. And the border is that color that we selected here with our three-dimensional vector. Now notice there's a bit of a flicker. Now we can fix that flicker by going into our post-process material and clicking on our PP highlight node and scrolling down to the post-process material section. And here we see blendable location. We can set this to before translucency. This means that we'll perform this before doing any translucency calculations. Go ahead and hit apply. And now back in our viewport, we see our outline and it's no longer flickering. Now I chose a sort of beige color, which is a little harder to see, but I can come back in here and change this color to anything I want. If I want it to be red, for example, I'll change it to red and hit apply. And now, back in the viewport, I see a red outline. So now we have an outline for this mesh. And the beauty of this is that we can take any mesh we want and set it to participate in the custom depth buffer. Let's go to our ammo folder and open ammo 9mm BP and select ammo mesh. That's our mesh here. And in the details panel, search for custom depth, and we can check render custom depth pass. And now our ammo should participate in the custom depth buffer. Compile and save. And now let's go into our level and take a look at our ammo. And check it out. Our ammo now has a red outline. Now we can see all of our overlap volumes, which are a little distracting. So I'm just going to quickly press play. And now you see that each of these items is outlined in red. In fact, the gun mesh that we're holding is also outlined in red, and you can see that the outline shows up even when it's covered by another mesh. In other words, it's occluded by another mesh. You can really see this effect by running behind the wall and seeing that red outline even through the wall. This is something we're going to take care of in a future video, and it's actually something that's easily fixed. So there we have it. This will conclude this video. We've now successfully created an outline around items, and we're ready to continue fine-tuning this, and eventually we'll be able to turn this effect on and off. So we'll see you in the next video.